Hello everybody! Today we're going to see how I draw Deku from My Hero Academia. Okay, pencils first and then Sharpies. So if you don't want to watch the pencil portion of the video where I sketch the entire thing out, look in the description and you'll find a link that you can click on that will take you to the Sharpie portion of the video. I'll even include one for color. But for those of you that are going to stick around, I'm going to start off with a quick sketch for myself, then get us going. Okay, so I thought this through, and I thought about like a kicking pose or something like that, but you know, everything looked really strange and weird. So I said, you know, just a fighting pose, getting ready in the stance. I think that's gonna do the job better than a crazy kicking pose. And like I said, it looks good in animation, and you know, if I was gonna follow through, but it just looks strange, like he was. I don't know, it was just strange. It was just strange. So it helps to, you know, sketch things out, figure out where you're going to go, that kind of thing. And this one really helped because it kept me from doing the wrong thing. And now I can do something much better. So it's still going to be, you know, big fighting pose, big stance. Because, you know, in the long run, maybe you can, you know, draw all the characters together fighting. And that's what you can use these drawings for. You know, who knows? Who knows? Because I'm not really gonna try to pose everybody in the same, you know, this will be a perfect fighting stance. But you know, you can have fun with it and do what you want. Because remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw. We'll meet somewhere in between. Okay, so let me just add some packs and belts and things like that. Oh, you know what? I'm doing exactly what I tell you guys not to do all the time, which is concentrate on the fine details. You got to concentrate on the pose, on the sketch first, and then you can concentrate on the fine details, because if you do like this, you could end up, or do like I was doing, you could end up adding too much stuff and then falling off the page and you're drawing down here and you can't see. Or your own. Not that you can't see your drawing. You can't see see me on camera, but your drawing will fall off the page. That's what I'm trying to say. And I know you want to try to get it all on there, so you know, that's what I'm saying. So just always sketch it out first, and then if it works, then you can move on to the finer details. And so that's what I'm saying with him too. I got to get his pose down right, and the look, you know, all the stuff on him, and then I can add the finer details. Okay, this looks about right. Here we go. We gotta put his big old footy down here, and that's kind of why I wanted to do the kicking pose, just because of the power of his legs. You know, it would have been a nice little, I want to say salute, but I guess that's not really the word I'm looking for. A nice little treat, I guess, if I could have made it, you know, like his kicking power, you know. Let me see, that's too short. I like the way that shoe came out, but the leg is too short. So, oops, I'm going to redraw it real fast. And now, since I'm close to, and he's got very specific details, I think I am going to add a little bit of his detail, because, like I said, it's got a certain look to it, and I want to get it right. Like certain parts are bigger, you know. You know, yeah, that's why you're here. You know the details. You know what it's like. And the poses were coming out pretty good, so I can add the finer detail now. Ooh, this shoe seems to be really challenging me for some reason. Oof, that's way too big. This is what's taking me the most. I'm almost ready to go, but for some reason I don't like that shoe. Okay. Maybe I just need to, yeah, I needed to, that's what it was. I needed to draw it out and not worry about the detail. Then I can come back and add the detail of the foot. So I was too busy trying to capture the details, but I needed to actually draw the shoe. There we go. I can live with that. Alright, so let me get some detail into his body now. Alright. Okay, looking good. I'm happy with this. And something else I'm trying to get everybody to understand too is, you know, my style is sketch, 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 and that'll get you there, you know? So that's kind of why I'm throwing a whole bunch of lines down, just trying to see what sticks, just to see what makes me happy. And building off of that. Okay. Okay, we're close. We're really close. I hope everybody is getting their drawing ready, or you know, ready to jump over to the Sharpie portion. Let's see. Let's see if I can try to give him the crazy mouth, where it's not quite screaming, but not quite closed. Okay, so I'm trying to you know, cohesively put the look together of my style plus an anime. Like, I don't want to make his eyes too crazy big, but I want to do some kind of, you know, anime style. Okay, I think I can live with that. Let's see if I can figure out something for his hair, right? Because I have to kind of give him his look. But again, let's see, I want to go out that big. You know, I got to keep it grounded in realism to a point. I've talked about this before, how I've seen some people say, like, you know, there's a lot of people that put a lot of work into the look and the style of him, and you're not honoring their design. But I don't think that's true. I think they get the credit for what they did. Does that make more sense? That I would rather them get the credit for the look and what they're doing than me trying to recreate it, because they did it better in the first place. That's why they're designers, and they get paid a lot of money to do that, you know. So I would rather just leave it like I said, this is called how I draw, and I would just rather leave it so, you know, I'm honoring what they did with my style. Okay, I think I am ready to switch over. So let me erase some of these sketch lines. I mean, it's nothing but sketch lines, and what'll be left over are the confidence lines. So basically, you know, we want to erase the sketchiness. It's just like in life. You get rid of your sketchiness and you stick with what's confident. And you always work with your confidence. If you don't trust it, redo it. If you don't trust it, don't follow it. Follow your heart, but don't trust sketchiness. Okay, I think that's enough. I can see a small ghost of an image, so it's not going to stand out. The Sharpie will stand out, but I can see where I'm going. So let's do that. I say we welcome everybody that skipped. Welcome, skippers. Welcome to the Sharpie portion of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe because I do a drawing every day. You can join along and have some fun. I'm going to be using a Sharpie fine point and a Sharpie pen. Mostly the fine point, but the pen's a little finer than the fine point and can find the things that the fine point can't quite find. So I've sketched the entire thing out. I've erased the faint lines, and what's left is a small ghost of an image that I can build off of. So I'm going to start off with the Sharpie pen because I can control the line widths much better, and I'm going to build off of this. So I'm going to have his messy hair and his eyes. So I'm going to draw his eyelids first, like this, just to see if I've got them. Yeah, if I've got them parallel, because you always want to parallel, and then you decide the tilt of the head if it fits the way it is. So that works for me. So I'm going to draw some retinas like this. And then I'll go ahead and draw the pupils just a little bit, because these Sharpies will bleed, so I can only put in little dots, but that's all I'm going to need for this, because I'm just going to, add just a little bit and then bring the eyes in just like this. I'm not going to draw the whole underside because, like I said, this will bleed, and color will kind of take care of that, and the bottom of the retina will imply the bottom of the eye. So I've got him in kind of a screaming fighting stance. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a little bit of a angry brow kind of in like this, and then up. I do the same thing over here, up like that. And again, I'm going to draw his brow, but just a little bit. Like that. Okay? So before I go into the hair, which is all messy and flop into there, I'm going to go ahead and draw some of the facial features and then build off of that. So I'm going to draw just a little bit of his brow, well, not his brow, but his bridge of his nose. I'm going to come in like this, and I'm going to add a little bit over here. I don't want to do too much because I only want the black to emphasize certain parts, not everything. So for his nose, I'm going to draw one nostril like this, the other one like that, and build off of that. Okay? And again, I've already sketched it, so I'm kind of working on what I've already sketched, and I can build off of that. But again, I don't want to go too far. Like, I want to draw more of the bulb of his nose, but I'm going to stop right there because any more and it's going to start to really stand out. That's what I was saying with these Sharpies, or with the black, this is really emphasizing certain parts, so that's good enough for now, and I can just draw the rest of it. So I've got his mouth open in kind of a screaming, shouting mouth, kind of like this. I'm going to bring it down and open, and I'm going to draw just a little bit of his teeth. We'll say the teeth are coming in like that and then up. Now, it just looks like they're closed. You can leave it like that. I'm probably going to color the black part in so it looks like he's more wide-mouthed open. So I'll go ahead and color more of this in like that. And there we go. That'll give him the top of his teeth just barely showing and more of the bottom teeth showing, or coloring it in like I'm going to do. So I'll leave it like that. That's more of a angry fighting scream, right? Okay, so we're going to put his chin right here. And I'm going to start to thicken this up because when I switch over to this Sharpie, it's super, super thick. So I'm just getting ready for what's about to happen. Okay, so I'm going to bring his jawline up. I'm going to draw his cheek right there. Again, I'm thickening this up. You don't have to, but I'm thickening my end up. You'll see why once we get there, once we get to this, how much it's going to really stand out. Alright, so I think that's as far as I want to take it, and then I want to move on to the hair because I want to draw the ears, but I know the hair is going to flop into that a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and start with some of the hairlines that I was sketching out. And because I kind of play around with real style versus what they created, I'm just going to play around with some streaks of hair and then build off of this. And basically just messy hair is what we're going for, really. So I can draw his ears like that now that I kind of defined where the edges are. And I'll he's more of his head down, you know, that's why his ears are so high. Normally they're right about there, you know, but I've kind of got him at a weird angle. Okay, so I'm going to play around with some hair streaks now. Like I said, I just kind of drawing on the messy hair, and then color will take care of a lot of it too. But this will kind of help with his little, you know, straggly hair. And I don't want to draw every single one. Like I said, I want color to take care of a lot of this. But I do want to emphasize some of the messiness of it. So that's why I'm just kind of playing around with some of it, not all of it. I want to do it all though. I'm not going to lie. I would love to do a whole bunch of this hair, but not in the cards. It's not what we're doing today. Alright, so I'm just going to emphasize a few more. Just to kind of show, you know, his hair is kind of all over the place. And again, thicken up certain parts. And also, again, if you're using a pencil, you don't have to do this. I'm just doing it just because of the Sharpie. Oops, that was too thick. But that's okay. It's hair. There's no logic to his hair. You know, it's kind of all over the place. Kind of like my Sharpie is just kind of going all over the place today. Certain parts are working out thicker than others, and that's okay. Because it's also a good lesson of, you know, this is where we are. Not everything is going to be perfect. And I think that's going to be it, because I want to do some of that with black and some of that with color. But I think that's good enough for a crazy place that we're going to take his hair. Alright, so now it's basically costume. So I'm going to draw his neck down. See how thick that is? That's what I'm saying. I want to try to match that. So his neck down into his collar. Collar down like this. And we're going to draw his mask. So I'm going to come up to a point like that. And let's see, the other parts of it are going to be down here. I just want to make sure I get the edges right. Something like that. And let's see. We'll go ahead and add just a few of these lines. And color is going to do a lot, and I just wanted to emphasize certain parts. That's kind of the thing about if you're going to do, you know, black ink like this. Sharpies really emphasize, they stand out, you know, and so you got to think about what you want to stand out and what you don't. Okay. All right. So now let's see. So let's draw his shoulder pads, which are going to be underneath this a little bit. I'm going to draw one kind of up like this, the one kind of out like that, and let's see. I'm going to bring them down about like that. The other one like this, and I want it. Let's see. His little hood thing. That's why I wanted to kind of leave room there for this for the back, like that. And it's just going to kind of hang down and emphasize his shoulders there. Okay, so that's where his hood is. It's just laying back, you know. So now I'm going to draw. Let's see. I'm going to draw his shoulder to his the first part of his glove. And we'll go ahead and do that first, since that's in front of everything. And I'm going to draw the edge of it here, like this. Come up for that little raised, emphasized part. Come in, and then we're going to draw down to the elbow, like that. And I've got the arm bent over, so it's going to come over like this, but stop right about there before we get to the wrist, because of the little swoopy thing that's over it, that little design, like that. So now I can just bring it back over here to the elbow, And again, I want to emphasize a few creases and folds because of the way his arm is bent. And he's kind of, you know, stressing out the material. Like that, okay? All right, so let's draw this hand. And it's pretty much just like this. He's in the, you know, ready to fight. So it's gonna bring the thumb out here like this. Bring it back into the regular part of the hand. And then his knuckles are gonna be right about here. So we're gonna just add some fingers. And again, I've sketched this out so I know kind of what I'm going for here. And I'll add some detail in a second with the smaller Sharpie, just to kind of emphasize the stress of the hand that he's got, you know, like lines and stuff like that, you know, but not too much. All right, so there's the seam. We'll go ahead and draw a knuckle like this, like that. There we go. Don't want to do too much, but I do want to add some stress to the glove. Like that. Nothing crazy. Oh yeah, and he's got also that little... There you go. Alright, so now we can draw the shirt, I guess, kind of coming in like this, coming down. And again, there's a lot of stress on... we'll do the middle part like that. On cloth, you know, being stressed, pushed. So we'll just do stuff like that, just to show the creases and folds. Creases and folds. You know how I like them. All right. Okay, so now let's work on this side. So I'm going to have he's going to be kind of hunched over a little bit. So his stomach is going to be kind of like this, into his chest, going up like that for his sleeve, coming down into the other one, which is going to be something like this. Again, coming down to emphasize that one little part. So I can draw his shoulder right there. But again, because it's covered up by the pad, we're just going to add a few creases like that. I like this one like this. That looks better. That's a little bit better on the eyes, right? All right, so this one I'm just going to bring in like this to the elbow. And again, it's the big glove, so we're just going to follow it in. And again, we're going to do that little thing. So I'm going to emphasize something like this, just to make that stand out. Okay, and so I'm going to draw his hand up like this, and we're going to put his hand in a fist. You know, pretty simple, pretty easy. And let's see, his knuckles are like this. So I'm going to put his pinky like this, tucked in, and then the other fingers are wrapped around, but you can't see them all because of the side view, like that. So all you really see is the thumb on the side of his hand right there. And again, I'm just gonna add a few little wrinkles to show that it's a glove, stressed out with the stress of the bends. All right, so I'm gonna put those little features that he's got in there like this. The rest of that will be taken care of with color. So now I'm going to move on to the rest. And so he's kind of hunched over a little bit. So his belt and his pockets, not pockets, what are those? Pouch. His pouches are kind of like this. I'm just going to kind of accent like that. Put the front of it like that. That's where he keeps his snacks. Right? Okay, so that means his belt is in like this. Again, he's got some creases and folds in his material. And, oh no, we'll do that in a second. I'm going to do the seam, but I'll do that when I do all the way to the bottom so I can finish it up like that. So I'm going to draw his buckle like this. So I could draw the rest of his belt going back like that. And so this side, you can't really see as much because of his hand. So we'll just do that for the pouches like this. So now we're just going to work our way into his legs. So I've got him spread out. So I'm going to draw his material down to the first part of his leg. And I'm just going to go ahead and just draw it because I've already sketched it out. So I could just kind of follow the design. Like this. like that. So that means his crotch is right about there. Again, his legs are spread out, so he's just kind of spreading his material like that as well. So again, I could do some lines, and I'll do some more in a second, like going across to show more stress. I don't want to do too many with this one. Let's finish this leg and we'll work on the other side over here too. So I'm just gonna close off some of this and add a little bit more detail. Like this. And I'm gonna draw the bottom of it. And again, I'm following a sketch, so I'm not just throwing lines in, but it kind of looks like it, so trust me. Stick with me. Okay, so I'm going to draw some of the detail that we can see. I know we've got it at a weird angle, so, you know, it's understandable that it looks a little odd in what you can and can't see. And again, some of this I only want to do with color, so I'm going to kind of emphasize certain parts, but not all of it. So I'm going to do something like this. Again, color will take care of some of that. Okay, just making sure everything's closed off. Let's finish off this leg here. And I'm going to draw his big old boots. They come in like this. There's the bottom like that. There's the heel. Let's see. I'm going to draw a little bit of lace, something like this. Normally I don't draw the laces, but this one's so easy to do because of its animation style that it can be done a little bit easier. Okay, I think that's all I want to do there. I don't want to emphasize too much. I say that, then I draw a line. What's wrong with me? All right. Okay, so now let's just finish up this other leg. So we're going to work our way, same thing, but ooh, my paper's warped. Let me re-tape it down real fast. Okay, there we go. So now we're just going to do it at this angle. So same thing, we're just going to draw the leg according to my sketch. Like that. Emphasize certain parts. Like that. Oh, you know what? Before I forget, let's draw that seam. And this will also determine how the lines we put in here for like that, for the stress line. So since I have that, I'm going to add stress line like this. Like this. We'll go ahead and connect some of these like that. Just to kind of, again, like I said, stress the material being bent, or just to show that it's stressed out. That's basically what we're doing. Okay, so let's keep going here. So I'm going to draw the middle part, the kneecap, I guess, and then the bottom of the knee is a little bit wider. Again, coming into follow my sketch. And then I'm going to emphasize certain parts. Color is going to hide a lot of this anyway, so there's only so much you're going to see. Like that. Oh, yeah. These things that I want to draw. There we go. Alright, so let's finish up this other shoe. I'm going to just draw the outside like that, come down into the front. Over. Here's where the heel is, but you can't see as much. And then the front of the shoe, we'll just go ahead and kind of do like that. This is where we're going to draw those laces. There you go. Do that. Oh, and leave the little vents for, you know, his awesome kicks. And there you go. I say we do the rest with color. So that is Deku from My Hero Academia. So here is my colored version. You could do it however you like. I just thought I'd show you how I decided to color it. If you'd like to color it like this, you can always pause the video here and use the coloring techniques that I used, or you can just make it your own. Remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures of how I draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button to be updated about each new video.